Hello everyone, my name is Sasha Bennett and I welcome you all to my Capstone Reflection. Reflections are important because they evaluate the effectiveness of the Capstone project for personal and professional growth. The analysis of the Capstone project and personal benefits from the project shall be included in this video. Reflective practices reveal the effort of the nurses and the impact that they have on the patient's health. The Capstone project has contributed to my personal and professional growth, as explained in this paper. Contributions of intervention to the patient. My intervention aimed to understand asthma illness among Alaska Native and American Indian groups residing in the United States. The intervention aimed at providing evidence-based interventions to improve the patient's health. My patient suffers from asthma and needs knowledge on managing and coping with the disease. Asthmatic patients suffer from frequent respiratory infections and shortness of breath, making them uncomfortable, especially at night. Providing patients with information and connecting them with community resources will give them the emotional support to help them cope with the situation. Ethical principles of nursing were adhered to in this development of the intervention, where I received the consent from the patients and their families to involve them in the Capstone project. I assured them that their information should be and will be protected and respected. The intervention positively impacted the patient's health, where the asthmatic exacerbations were reduced and their quality of life improved. The intervention provided adequate knowledge to the patient's family, where they understood the signs and symptoms of asthma and ways of preventing asthma exacerbations in their patients. Families confessed that their interventions helped them provide support to their asthmatic patients and contributed to positive improvements in the health of the patient. Patients were given freedom of expression during the intervention development, where their needs were considered and included in the intervention. Patients and family engagement in developing asthma care plans increases patients' outcome and satisfaction. The patient was engaged in the evaluation process of the impact of the intervention, where they confessed their experience with the intervention and the contribution to their asthmatic condition. The patient experienced high quality care and the management of their asthmatic condition. Communication and coordination were aided by team-based care activities, which improved patient satisfaction. Patients and their families were so happy and satisfied with the intervention plan. The intervention improved asthma health literacy, alleviated negative cultural beliefs about asthma. The assumptions that the patients and families had about asthma were alleviated, and the right facts about asthma and its management were improved, which improved their health and the quality of the patient. The Community Wellness Initiative and community health care providers' contribution to the intervention positively impacted the patient and their families. The health literacy gap in asthma and its management was closed, and the patient's education, which was very impactful. Use of evidence and peer-reviewed literature. Peer-reviewed articles are important in nursing, and they provide evidence-based practices for improving patient health. The Library and Nursing Research Database provided trustworthy information for completing the Capstone project. I researched asthma and the risk factors, symptoms, and management practice to help the patient. CRAAP test was used to ensure that the resources used were credible and current. The Capella University Library was an important tool for the project's success. How interventions leverage healthcare technologies. Technology was used in the development of the intervention to ensure the patient's safety and quality of care are promoted. Wearable devices and smartphone apps help asthmatic patients access quality care in their comfort. Telehealth was used to reduce the cost and the distance that hindered patients from accessing asthma health services. Virtual health services and effectively delivered Virtual health services are effectively delivered through telehealth technology. E-health was used to follow up on the patients to ensure that their treatment regimen was adhered to. Influence on health policy. Policy regulations and governmental policies were adhered to in the development of the intervention. Health policies ensure that the expectations of the health policies are met in the intervention. Public health strategies and plans are needed in the management of asthma. The privacy policy was used where the patient's consent was needed for them to be involved in the intervention. The patients were assured that their health information would be secured and shared with only authorized people. Policy guidelines were applied to use telehealth technology to improve patient safety and quality of care. The state nursing standards define the scope of the intervention according to the guidelines for developing patients' care. As a nurse, it is my responsibility to ensure that my patients are always safe, and this is by advocating for patient-centered care plans and asthma management. Adhering to the policy guidelines promoted the success of the intervention plan and improved asthma management practices. How my project met initial predictions. I developed objectives and goals I desired to achieve through the intervention and jotted them down. Family and patient collaboration in the development of the intervention contributed to the achievement of my goals. I aim to enhance patients' outcome in asthma management, and I am glad the intervention fulfilled this desire. This patient confessed that the intervention reduced asthma exacerbation and improved their health. Families were happy with the intervention as it provided them with the trusted information on asthma management, which helped them support their patients. Patients learned how to effectively use their inhalers and modify their environments to avoid asthma triggers. Patients avoided engaging in physical exercises, but I helped them understand that asthma is not a hindrance in being physically active. In cold weather, I encourage the patient to wear a face mask to avoid breathing cold air, which will exacerbate asthma symptoms. Educating the patient on asthma management helped achieve the goal of improved patients' health literacy and quality of life. Family engagement and support in asthma management was an initial project prediction that was fulfilled by ensuring that the family had adequate information on asthma and understood the importance of supporting the patient. The patient's health improved through family support, and they are able to modify the home environment by removing molds and stagnant water and using humidifiers that trigger asthma. Impact on personal and professional growth. The Capstone project has been a journey of learning and growing. I have learned effective time management by balancing my studies, personal life, and employment. Asthma prevalence in the United States and around the globe triggered my interest in learning more about the management to help patients cope. As a nurse, I have always desired to impact the world positively by helping those around me and creating awareness of disease that lower quality of life of the community population. Focusing on asthma has expanded my knowledge and skills in managing the disease, which shall be applied to improve my patients' quality of life. Seeing patients experience difficulty breathing is not pleasing, and therefore evidence based practices need to be implemented in asthma management. Team collaboration has played an important role in the success of my Capstone project. Communication skills and collaboration skills developed through the project shall be used in my workplace to collaborate with other nurses to improve and help the patients struggling with asthma. I have understood the needs of asthmatic patients and their families, having worked directly with the patient and their families in this Capstone project. Family support helps in the quick recovery of the patient. Therefore, it is important to engage families in every step of care and plan development. I have learned the importance of applying ethical principles with dealing with the patients to ensure that their rights are respected. The project has revealed my weakness in dealing with patients, which were improved by continuous learning and actively listening to the needs of others and trying my best to fulfill them. I aspire to be an expert in nursing practice through the knowledge and the skills received through this Capstone project.